Preparing for siege, the November rituals, storm windows going up, the annual wrestling match with frames and putty, your dad on the ladder, your mom handing up tools, you holding the bottom steady, every window sealed against the months ahead, then banking snow around the foundation, insulation against wind, everyone doing it, every house, every family, the neighborhood transformed by collective preparation, your mom checking the cellar, potatoes in bins, preserves on shelves, mason jars lined up like soldiers, supplies for months because sometimes getting to the store meant risk, the coal truck making deliveries, black dust everywhere, your dad signing for 3 tons that would hopefully last until March, hardware store packed on Saturdays, everyone buying the same things, bags of sand and salt, ice scrapers, snow shovels, long underwear at Stedman's, wool socks, serious winter boots, the kind with felt liners you'd pull out to dry every night, not fashion, survival gear, the smell of mothballs as winter coats emerge from storage, finding last year's mittens, one missing, always one missing, your dad checking the furnace, the car, the roof, tire chains bought and tested in the driveway, the clink, clink, clink of metal on pavement, block heaters plugged in, orange extension cords snaking from houses to driveways like umbilical cords keeping cars alive, windows sealed with rolled newspapers and masking tape, your grandmother's trick, worked perfectly, cost nothing, the acceptance that you'd be cold, just a matter of how cold, how long, how well you prepared. You didn't prepare for winter hoping it would be mild. You prepared assuming it would be brutal. And that assumption, that acceptance, changed everything. Winter was coming. You got ready. Simple as that. The rink opens. Winter's official start. First weekend of December. The outdoor rink officially opens. The whole town gathering. The mayor on skates, because even the mayor skated. Cutting the ribbon. The first puck dropped. Not ceremonial. Actual. Kids scrambling for it. Elbows flying, laughter echoing. The warming shack open for business, with stove already blazing. Volunteer schedule posted for flooding. Everyone's name somewhere on that list. Mr. Patterson taking midnight. Mrs. Chun taking 4 a.m. Your dad signed up for Tuesdays. Everyone contributing. Everyone understanding that the rink didn't just happen. It was built, maintained, flooded by all of you, together. The smell of fresh ice, crisp and clean. The scrape of 30 pairs of skates hitting ice simultaneously. Breath clouds in the air, everyone's mixing together. The boards creaking under collision. Hot chocolate in the warming shack. 50 cents, honor system. Drop your quarters in the coffee can. No one counting. No one cheating. Because this was your rink. Your community. Your trust. Skate laces freezing stiff if you didn't tie them inside. The sound of the rink. Sticks clacking. Kids laughing. Parents calling. Danny pass. Susan, watch out. Floodlights turning on at 4:30 when darkness came early. December darkness that settled by dinner and stayed until breakfast. The rink was democracy. The great equalizer. Doctors' kids and farmers' kids. Rich and poor. Boys and girls. Though girls got less ice time. That was the 60s. That was the unfairness baked in. But everyone was there. Everyone skating. Everyone cold together. Mr. Patterson flooding at midnight. Temperature perfect. Checking with thermometer. Waiting for -5, -10. The Goldilocks zone for glass smooth ice. Teenagers organizing pickup games. Fathers teaching kids to skate backwards, to stop properly, to take a hit and get back up. Mothers in the warming shack managing hot chocolate. First aid, lost mittens. The rink schedule, shinny until 6. Figure skating until 8. Adult hockey after. Everyone respecting it because the rink belonged to everyone. Saturday night, lights blazing. Someone transistor radio playing CFRB. The whole town circling the ice in lazy loops. Couples holding hands. Kids racing. Everyone present. The rink didn't close when it got cold. It closed when it got warm. -20? Game on. -30? Bundle up. The cold didn't stop anything. It was just winter. And winter was what you did. December cold, living inside winter. -25 in the morning. Your dad outside 20 minutes early, starting the car, letting it warm. Not a luxury, a necessity. Otherwise, it wouldn't start. You'd hear engines all over the neighborhood, coughing to life, running in driveways, plumes of exhaust rising in the dark like industrial prayers. Frost on the inside of windows. Not outside. Inside. You'd draw pictures in it while getting dressed. 6 layers minimum. Undershirt, t-shirt, sweater, coat, snowsuit, scarves wrapped 3 times around your face, breath freezing instantly into tiny icicles. Walking to school, eyes watering, tears freezing on your cheeks. The snow squeaking under boots, that particular sound of -30. Sharp, crystalline, the sound of serious cold. Metal so cold it burns skin on contact. You learned that once. Never forgot. Nostril hairs freezing with each breath. That weird tickle that meant the air was dangerous. But you didn't stay inside. School wasn't canceled. Life continued. You walked to school. You played outside at recess. You went to the rink after homework. The cold was just there. A fact, like gravity. You dressed for it and carried on. Your mom making you wear bread bags over your socks inside your boots. Not fashion. Waterproofing and insulation. The universal understanding that you'd be cold getting places, but warm once there. Stores with entrance vestibules, double doors trapping heat. Everyone stamping snow in the entrance. A percussion of winter, the rhythm of survival. Cars left running during quick errands because restarting was risky. The plug-in dance. Unplugging your car, plugging in your neighbors. Unspoken rotation. Shared resource. The parking lot of the grocery store, a forest of orange cords. Frozen pipes a constant threat. Taps left dripping overnight. The waste of water worth it to avoid the disaster of burst pipes. Flooded basements. Plumbers working around the clock in January. The particular skill of starting a cold car. Patience. Prayer. Persistence. Pumping the gas pedal just right. Not too much or you flood it. Not too little or it wouldn't catch. That moment of terror when the engine wouldn't turn over. That relief when it finally did. Your dad's expertise passed down. Wait. Listen. Now. Try again. We complain about winter now. Cancel plans. Stay home. Work remote. But in the 60s, winter wasn't optional. It was mandatory. And somehow, meeting it head-on made us tougher. Made us Canadian in ways heated seats never could. If you are enjoying this story, please subscribe to support the channel. Christmas in the cold, when simple was enough. Main Street with lights strung pole to pole. Snowbanks 6 feet high, narrow canyons between them. Store windows decorated with spray, snow, and glitter. Santa at the Legion Hall every Saturday, smelling faintly of rye, but jolly anyway. The outdoor nativity scene with real straw. Sheep that seemed unbothered by -15. Christmas trees tied to car roofs. Trailing snow and pine needles all the way home. The smell of wood smoke from every chimney. Baking smells escaping into cold air. Cinnamon, ginger, butter. Your mom making squares and cookies for weeks. Carol singers going door to door. Voices crystalline in frozen air. Breath visible with every note. Church bells on Christmas Eve. Sound carrying for miles across frozen land. Presents under the tree. Modest but meaningful. 1 toy, maybe 2. The Eaton's catalog circled in pen. Most of it wishful thinking. Your parents smiling sadly, doing math, making choices. The one thing you really wanted, hoping it was in the budget. Christmas morning. Tearing paper with frozen fingers because the house hadn't warmed up yet. Christmas dinner. The whole family crowded around. Aunts and uncles and cousins spilling into the living room because the dining room couldn't hold everyone. Turkey and potatoes and pie. The house finally warm from body heat and the oven running all day. Your grandfather carving. Your grandmother directing. Everyone talking at once. Church baskets for families struggling. Everyone contributing. Not charity. Community care. The town knowing who needed help and helping quietly. No announcements. No recognition. Just mittens appearing on doorsteps. Firewood stacked anonymously. Groceries left in vestibules. The understanding that winter was communal. Christmas more so. Neighbors clearing each other's driveways on Christmas morning. Not asked, just done. Sharing firewood. Sharing food. Sharing warmth. Christmas Day at the rink. Everyone skating together. The tradition of it. The reliability. The shared joy in the cold. Christmas in the cold felt earned. You'd survived December. Made it to the darkest days. And now light. Celebration. Together. The cold outside making the warmth inside matter more. Making each other matter more. January deep freeze. The test. -35. -40 with wind chill. Schools finally closing. Not because of snow. Because of cold. Too dangerous for kids to walk. Frostbite in minutes. Even Canadians had limits. Not many, but some. Windows frosted completely opaque. Patterns like ferns, like forests, like alien landscapes. Your breath visible inside the house near windows. The furnace running constantly, never quite warm enough. Everyone living in the kitchen, closest to heat. Sleeping under 6 blankets, for quilts. Still cold. The particular ache of cold that settles in your bones. That makes you feel older, tired, defeated. Car batteries dying overnight. Neighborhood rescue missions with jumper cables. Your dad helping Mr. Chun. Mr. Chun helping your dad the next day. Frozen locks. Hair dryers brought outside on extension cords. The absurdity of it. The necessity. Milk freezing on doorsteps before you could bring it in. The bottles expanding, pushing metal caps off. Cream frozen solid on top. These were the days that tested you. That showed what you were made of, not just individually, collectively, because nobody survived January alone. You needed your neighbors, your community, your shared knowledge and shared resources. Mr. Patterson checking on elderly neighbors daily, knocking, waiting, making sure they had heat, had food, were alive. Your dad shoveling Mrs. Chen's driveway without asking, just doing it. Families without cars getting rides to groceries, to church, to the doctor. The party line lighting up with welfare checks. You okay? Got heat? Need anything? Frozen pipes becoming neighborhood emergencies. Plumbers working around the clock, the heroes of January, saving basements, saving homes. Kids pulled together on toboggans. Too cold to walk, a train of children bundled beyond recognition. The rink empty for the first time. Too cold even for hockey. And somehow, that bringing relief. Proof we weren't invincible. Proof the cold could win sometimes. January was hard, brutal. There were mornings you didn't want to get up, didn't want to face the cold, didn't want to scrape ice or start cars or walk anywhere. The nostalgia stops here. Because winter in the 60s wasn't romantic. It was difficult, testing, sometimes defeating. People died of cold. Houses burned down from space heaters. Pipes burst and families lost everything. The hardship was real. The danger was real. But we got through, together, because we had to, because there was no other option. And in that shared endurance, something was forged, not just survival, brotherhood, sisterhood, the knowledge that when things got hard, Canadians showed up for each other. February Carnival, celebrating the cold. Last weekend of February, the annual Winter Carnival, not despite the cold, because of it. Ice sculptures lining Main Street, artists with chainsaws and chisels, creating dragons and castles and abstract shapes that caught morning light and refracted rainbows. Snow castle contest, kids building, parents helping, everyone covered in snow and laughing. Dog sled races down Main Street, huskies howling, children screaming with delight. Pancake breakfast at the fire hall, line up out the door, the smell of maple syrup and bacon drawing everyone. Beard growing contest, judged by who looked most like a lumberjack, won by Mr. Patterson every year. The hockey tournament, the curling bonspiel, the snowshoe race, adults lumbering in oversized tennis rackets, strapped to boots, ridiculous and beautiful. All of it outside, all of it cold, all of it glorious. Fiddle music from the outdoor stage, musicians and mitts. Finger stiff, but playing anyway. Hot apple cider in styrofoam cups. Burning your tongue. Worth it. The crowning of the carnival queen. 18 years old and pretending she wasn't freezing. Tiara literally freezing to her hair. Fireworks Saturday night. Colors brilliant against snow and stars. The finale lighting up the whole town. Every organization involved. Legion, Lions Club, churches, schools. Volunteers running everything. No paid staff. No corporate sponsors. Just the town celebrating itself, celebrating survival. The bake sale. Tables groaning with squares and cookies and pies. The raffle. Grand prize, a quart of firewood. Actually useful. Actually wanted. That was the 60s. Practical even in celebration. Teenagers gathering at the bonfire. Flirting. Laughing. Faces red from cold and hormones. Parents catching up. Sharing complaints and laughter equally. Cold enough for you? Suppose a warm up next week. That'll be nice. The whole town together, celebrating enduring. The carnival was defiance. A middle finger to winter. You're cold? We're colder. You're harsh? We're tougher. We'll celebrate you, embrace you, dance in your face. Because we're Canadian and winter doesn't beat us. We beat winter by living fully inside it. The carnival wasn't about fun. Not really. It was about proof. Proof we were still here. Still strong. Still Canadian. Winter tried to break us. And we threw a party. March breakup. When winter finally surrendered. 40 degrees. Warm enough to unzip your coat. Revelatory. The sound of water everywhere. Dripping from eaves. Running in gutters. Snow melting into rivers that flooded streets and basements. The streets muddy. Your boots caked. Everything soggy, messy, glorious. Because it meant winter was losing. Finally, the smell of earth again after months of ice. Actual dirt. Actual ground. Icicles falling from roofs. Crashing with satisfying violence. Don't walk under the eaves. Your mom warned, but you did anyway because you were young and stupid and lucky. The particular sound of ice cracking on the lake, like gunshots, like the earth breaking apart, which it was. Kids stomping in puddles, splashing, soaking jeans, parents not caring for once. Snow forts collapsing, turning gray and sad. Childhood architecture defeated by warmth. The rink closing, ice going soft, dangerous. The season over. No ceremony, just orange pylons and a sign. Close until next year. Storm windows coming down. The annual ritual reversed. Your dad on the ladder. Your mom receiving the frames. You still holding the bottom. The cycle complete. Bikes emerging from garages. Chains needing oil. Baseball gloves coming out, leather stiff from storage. The rink volunteers already planning next year. Did we do okay? What should we change? Streets swept, sand and salt washed away, revealing pavement forgotten since November. Gardens planned, seeds ordered from the catalog. The particular optimism of spring after a hard winter. Earned optimism. Tested optimism. Canadian optimism. You made it. You survived. And spring felt like reward. But also something else. A faint sadness. Because winter, for all its hardship, brought you together. The thaw meant dispersing. Everyone returning to their own yards, their own lives. The communal survival ending. The shared purpose dissolving with the snow. You'd miss it. Not the cold. Never the cold, but the togetherness. The necessity of each other. We celebrate spring. But part of us misses winter. The version we face together. The one that made us need each other. Made us Canadian. Made us us. What winter taught, the lessons we've forgotten. Now we have remote starters, heated seats, underground parking. Schools closed for 2 inches of snow. We work from home when it's cold. Order groceries to our doors. Stay inside, scrolling, connected to the world but disconnected from our neighbors. Winter is no longer communal. It's individual. Everyone managing their own cold, their own inconvenience, their own survival. We don't need each other anymore. Not like we did. Not like we had to. The rink keeper flooding at midnight. The shared duty. gone. Most rinks zambonied now, professionally maintained. The neighbor checking on the elderly, the assumed responsibility fading. We text instead. Easier, less personal. The party line forcing cooperation, the mandatory community disconnected. Everyone private now, everyone separate. The carnival defying cold, the collective celebration, smaller now, often canceled, weather dependent. The understanding that winter wasn't conquered alone, lost. We face winter individually now, thermostats and remote starters insulating us from both cold and each other. Not everyone misses 60s winters. Not everyone should. If you were poor, cold was dangerous, deadly. If your house wasn't insulated, if your furnace broke, if your family couldn't afford proper winter clothes, winter wasn't character building. It was terrifying. Children got frostbite walking to school. Elderly people died in their homes. Families lost everything to fires from overworked space heaters. The progress is real. Heated homes save lives. Reliable cars prevent frostbite. Better insulation means children don't wake to frost on their bedroom walls. This is good. This is important. This matters. We shouldn't romanticize poverty or danger or suffering. But still, something was lost. In gaining comfort, we lost something essential. The forced togetherness. The mandatory cooperation. The knowledge that when things got hard, you didn't face them alone. You couldn't. Your neighbors wouldn't let you. The winter that made us. Close your eyes. Remember the scrape of skates on outdoor ice. The smell of wood smoke on frozen air. The weight of 6 blankets. The silence after snowfall. The sound of your name called across the rink. The hand pulling you up after you fell. The hot chocolate shared. The driveway shoveled by a neighbor who didn't ask first. The storm you survived together. In the 1960s, winter wasn't something you survived despite community. It was something you survived because of community. The cold drove you together, made you need each other, made you show up for each other. Not because you were better people then, because you had no choice. And in that necessity, something beautiful was forged. We can't go back. Wouldn't want to, not completely. The cold that killed is better managed now. The danger reduced. The suffering lessened. This is progress. This is good. Children are safer. Elderly are warmer. Lives are saved. That matters more than nostalgia. But we can remember what winter taught, what cold forged, what shared endurance created. We can choose to show up, to check on neighbors, to help without asking, to build community even when comfort makes it optional. The technology has changed. The winters have warmed, slightly, barely, but the choice remains. Canadian winters in the 1960s were completely different. Not warmer, not easier, but faced differently. Together, as a necessity that became a choice, that became character, that became identity. The rink flooded at midnight. The driveway shoveled before dawn. The welfare check in January. The carnival in February. The shared understanding that we were all in this together. We're still Canadian. Still winter people. Still shaped by cold and snow and the knowledge that darkness ends and spring comes and survival is sweeter when it's shared. The winters have changed. We've changed. But the lesson remains. Winter doesn't beat you, unless you try to face it alone. Together, we're unbeatable. Together, we're Canadian. Together, we endure. That's not nostalgia. That's instruction. That's inheritance. That's who we were, and if we choose who we still are, the winter that made us, the cold that forged us, the snow that taught us who we were, a country that endures. Together, always together. That's the lesson. That's the legacy. That's winter. Canadian winter. The winter we remember. The winter that made us who we are. If you like this story, please subscribe to support this channel.